Welcome to True You, where we'll talk about becoming the truest version of who God created you to be. I'm your host and the co-author of Lies Young Women Believe in the Truth That Sets Them Free, Dannah Gresh. Do you ever feel pressured to participate in risky behaviors? Or maybe you are the one pressuring others to try them. Almost 5,000 teens die every year from taking risks they should not. The most serious threats to your health and safety are preventable. But the prevention starts by assaulting the lies you may believe about drugs, alcohol, sex, and more.
Here at the Round Table of True You, no topic is off limits. And today, we're taking a risk by diving into the topic of risky behaviors. I'm Staci Rudolph, lead teacher at True You, and Dannah and I are joined by actress and singer Alena Pitts. Let's take a look at Michaela's story with this topic.
Hi friends, Michaela here. I want to tell you that at one point in my life, I struggled with relying on drugs and alcohol to feel good. I was believing the lie that God isn't enough for me. He can't make the hard things in my life go away, but drugs and alcohol can. Or you know what? God isn't very fun, but you know what? I'm here to tell you that that lie that God isn't good enough or God isn't fun enough and I need drugs and alcohol to feel good about myself, it is not true. I found true freedom, true satisfaction, true comfort in Jesus Christ alone. And you can too. If you're struggling with a bondage to drugs and alcohol, I want you to know that you can be set free.
Staci, Alena, I am just burdened today that somebody would get their freedom on. Staci, you've alluded in the program that you've struggled a little bit with some risks. Take us to one of those moments where you were making decisions, you look back, you wish you hadn't made.
I think definitely in my early 20s, I kind of got wrapped up in drugs and alcohol for sure. And college definitely kind of started it, but it just continued after and just diving into things I wasn't supposed to be into, getting trapped in behaviors and addictions and stuff.
Can you identify with what Michaela said about how she was believing the lie that God wasn't enough to control the pain, the hurt that she was feeling about certain things? Does that sound?
I think definitely I hadn't gotten to that place yet where I was running to God's truth with my problems, with my questions, just with a heaviness on my heart. I wasn't taking it to God. And also I like what she said about God not being fun enough, because that was a big thing. It was like either you could go to an campus like Crew or Navigators or something like that where we could do Bible study, or you could go to a party. And it always felt like trying to weigh which one was going to be fun or which one I should go to. So.
Well, I live in the hometown of college, university, and there's a lot of that. Like, in fact, a lot of the ministries meet on Fridays and Saturday nights, and it just puts it like, here's the choice.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you feel that in high school, Alena? Do you feel some of that pressure sometimes that God isn't any fun? And
I think so. I think that's one of the biggest ways that I miss-see God in a way. I think that a lot of the times I'm like, he's not fun, when really he's a God of fun. He created things that we enjoy, and there's a difference between fun and risky behaviors, I guess, too.
Yeah. You know, one of the really interesting things that I've seen in the area of my studies in sex is that people who delay sex until marriage and have one lifetime mutually monogamous relationship, I like to call that marriage, but that's what the social science says, that they report higher levels of sexual satisfaction, significantly higher. And for men, adult men who have a lot of sex partners, lowest level of sexual satisfaction. Men who have the lowest level of sex partners, highest level of sexual satisfaction. And so I don't think God's a killjoy. I think he's trying to help us experience the ultimate joy. When it comes to like alcohol, you can remember the joy if the alcohol hasn't been involved, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So what's God's truth? What do we need to know, Staci?
Yeah, I think definitely, like you were saying, God has truth and the enemy always has the lie. He always has a counterfeit. And so a verse that really stuck out to me just going through that was John chapter 10, verse 10. And it says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." And that always really spoke to me because I was wrapped in all these things, I was doing all these things, and I had no joy. So it was like, what's the point? What's the purpose? And I realized that I was believing a lie. I was trapped, and the enemy had me thinking I was getting good things, but really he was trapping me and taking things from me. So it was just a really crazy thing. But
if you're involved in any kind of risky behavior, whatever that might be, cutting, binging, purging, alcohol, drugs, sex, we're going to tell you the same thing we tell you every time. What is it?
Tell someone. Just be honest. Tell them I'm struggling. This is a problem for me. I can't break free of this bondage. And just seek God's truth together. And do it for your future self. I always like to say that because you make decisions in the moment that are going to impact you, whether you believe it or not. So just be truly you, and your future self will thank you so much.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, we invite you to join us online for deeper discussion at liesyoungwomenbelieve.com. We'd also love for you to send us your 1-minute video freedom story. Get all the details on our website. We'll see you next time.